hobby drama. I have been a long-time lurker and reader, and I have finally decided to write about a piece of My Little Pony fandom history that people seldom talk about, despite it being, in my opinion, the precursor to one of the most infamous examples of brony depravity on the internet. Dun dun dun! Surely they're not. Speaking of a jar. Surely, this is not leading up to a jar situation. Huh? Nah?
Rainbow Dash figure boil in come. It's brown now. I have also got another glass of...
My friends, let me tell you the tale of how a fetish caused many women to leave My Little Pony toy collecting community, despite being part of it for decades. Here we go, gamers. Here we go. Oh boy. A brony is defined as being a male fan of the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic series. The popularity of the series skyrocketed during the initial run of the first season of the cartoon, primarily on the internet image board 4chan. What started as an ironic meme actually became a genuine community that seemed to explode almost overnight. Memes about the show spread across the internet like wildfire, and the sheer amount of pony posting had become such a problem on 4chan that it infected all other boards, not just the board devoted to cartoons. One of the 4chan boards that had a lot of pony posting was Toy, a board focusing on toy collecting. It's a good board, it's kind of dead, but it's a good board. This, of course, was not as egregious as posting in other topics as MLP had a toy line, but the lack of merchandising at the start of the MLP cartoon run and popularity boost has led to the toys being quite hard to find in person, and led to posters eagerly awaiting new toy releases and other merchandise releases. People would post pictures of the toys they managed to find, both in box and out of it. And eventually this led to people engaging in what was considered to be a toy tradition. What the fuck is hot gluing? Chat, what do you think hot gluing is? What do you guys think hot gluing is? Surely they mean, like, taking a hot glue gun and gluing down the ponies onto, like, neat little dioramas, right? Surely they mean, like, some people make art out of hot glue? Right? They use a hot glue gun and they kind of shape stuff like those 3D printer guns, you know? They do stuff like that. Hot gluing is a practice that had started back in 2005 and has become an unfortunately common occurrence in toy collecting communities, particularly anime collecting communities. Since then, it is when a man ejaculates on a piece of merchandise and subsequently photographs it to share online. For many, it is an obscure fetish, for some, a joke, and for others, a way to provoke people. Many examples of hot gluing are of highly sought after or expensive figurines. I like it when people just microwave them instead or put them on hot plates. I think the best thing you can do is to microwave or hot plate. For the My Little Pony toy collecting community, it soon became a rite of passage for any piece of new merchandise to go through. Dog, thank you, that's it, I'm ending it all. By the time Wave 2 of the toys released, the popularity of the show and the toys were at its peak. As new merchandise began to be found and these new toys began to be released, many scrambled to be the first ones to take pictures of these toys being hot glued. By this point of time, a containment board for My Little Pony posting had been made on 4chan, known as MLP, which still exists to this day. Also kinda dead. Threads would be made of new merchandise, and if they were not hot glued, then posters would immediately ask the original poster of the thread to do it. More often than not, the OP would comply. At this point, bronies far outnumbered the members of the My Little Pony collectors community. At first, the collector community held quite a positive outlook on the brony community, glad that more people were engaging with the series that these people had held in their heart for many years. After all, many of these collectors grew up with G1 and were older women, who wouldn't be thrilled at the concept of the new younger fans to take the place of the old guard. They had no idea of the depravity that had been going on until they were confronted with it. You see, in these collecting communities, collectors would seek out personal photos of the toys they wanted to purchase to see how they differed to the photo listings available on department store websites and the like. Oftentimes, there would be no photo listings for merchandise, and so it was up to the consumer to provide them. What this led to was women innocently looking for a picture of a pony, or perhaps a blanket or some other type of merchandise they wanted to buy, finding a picture of said merchandise having been hot glued. Chat, imagine this, your sweet mom, she loved My Little Pony. She's got all the ponies and she's in deep, right? She's in like the Facebook groups and shit, right? And she's looking up the latest Twilight Sparkle. And a picture of it being cummed on. Rifle works, thank you. Aloha Pippa. Hot gluing is now limited to figures, but the gun communities do that to their expensive heckler and cock firearms. Oh boy. Oh boy. My mom would laugh. Can you imagine? Can you imagine too, like buying merchandise secondhand and having to wonder, did somebody come on this? You're at Goodwill and you see My Little Ponies for sale and you have to wonder, has somebody jizzed on it? FC Players, thank you. Is this a shill stream for your standees? No, it is not. This led to many collectors swearing off G4 collecting at the very start of the toy line's run, as they did not want to subject themselves to seeing such pictures, and the risk of buying a toy secondhand that may have been used was deemed not worth it. Many collectors left the hobby completely, not just for collecting G4s, because of how this had taken their experience. Tigrina, thank you. Pippa initially said she's a brony. Bronies are male fans. Pippa's a femboy confirmed. Whatever. Leafson, thank you. I didn't need to know this today. Thank you, Pippa. Very cool. I'm never buying anything used ever again. This fascination with hot gluing would later become the catalyst for the very, very infamous Rainbow Dash cum jar experiment, which remains to be possibly the most well-known example of brony depravity on the internet. This post paraphrased, hot gluing is an unfortunately common practice that entails my inner thoughts. Oh, I'm guessing they opened it up, took something out, or swapped the toy, and hot glued the package back closed to sell online, right? You wish! You wish! Jesus Christ.